I'm live too. Just in time for the... I need to pre-GP. Just in time for the Grand Prix.
Yes.
Oh, I just hope it's less chaos, as he nearly drops his keyboard. Less chaos than our pre-GP. I caught it though, unlike the monitor that lunged at me the other day. Oh, right, well, we made it. First off, hello Sarah. You're not, unfortunately, we haven't got the feed from your camera on this one, but you're there in spirit. I know you are because I can hear you. But welcome to the Grand Prix. Let's have some fun, Sarah. Whew. I'm looking forward to it. This is actually my first action of F1 this weekend because of work and schedulings and all that sort of thing. So I'm excited to be here. I'm going to enjoy it, even if Verstappen wins by a minute. I'm determined to enjoy it. Whew.
Midnight, you can't see, but I've got me Patriots jersey on, so fully representing USA.
USA. No, I'm not even going to do it. I just saw the national anthem. I just went, ugh, Americans. Straight away. Right, we are 5 lights. Go time.
Oh, good start.
Don't be a big crash into turn 1, lads. Come on, lads.
Lando.
Lando
leading.
Yeah, I just had an eye on Lewis, and he was just like going straight into the Ferrari. Oh, Piastri and the Alpine touching, coming through the fast corners. I don't know what they're called, like turn 3 or whatever the hell they're calling this. Now, where is Max? So that's going to be... There he is.
There he is.
Now, I was just going to be wary how long it's going to take him to get past the rest of them. So why didn't Max qualify in pole? Was it because of a penalty? I don't actually know the reason.
He got his lap time deleted.
Right, okay. Right.
But then, actually saying that the day afterwards, they painted a thicker white line.
Right.
So, it's almost like, oh, yeah, penalty this day.
But not tomorrow. Piastri's challenging Max.
Oh.
Ferraris side by side with each other, that never goes well. And I suppose somewhere Sainz got past Hamilton. Where did he do that?
Yeah.
He must have done that then.
First corner, maybe.
Could well have been, yeah. I went into turn 3 at the hairpin, and Max is already on the back of... No, hang on, that's Perez on the back of Russell. So we've got a Ferrari and... Not Ferrari. A Mercedes and a Red Bull. 2 parts of the track. Looks like absolute carnage coming through the end part of the lap here. It's almost like they're all queuing up for qualifying. They're all that close. But Norris out, leads the first lap, so he's out in P1 at the moment. Can he stay there for any length of time? Because Max isn't making his way through at the moment. I mean, let's be honest, he is the threat here, isn't he?
Yeah. It's almost like, oh, how long is it going to take him to get through?
Mm-hmm.
At this point, so hopefully we'll have some good racing action until then.
Yeah. But from the British point of view, let's hope that the old 7-time world champion hold up the current triple world champion and let the Brit out front disappear.
I've got some.
It's a bit of a job. There. But on the flip side, we have Piastri, who's fallen away just outside of DRS from Max. So he's going to have Ocon all over the back of him. But here comes Russell on the back of Ocon as well, actually. Now, these two, I had a bit of a run-in with the pre-GP, so I don't care who takes each other out as long as they do. Not that I'm biased. Maybe a little bit. But Perez is on the back of Russell now. Lots of good little action going in the twisty section at the last sector here. And thank you to Pedro, who has just informed us that Piastri gained 4 places at the start there. Have we lost you, Sarah? Are you still there?
I'm still here, but your camera's frozen for me.
Oh, wonderful. Don't worry too much about that.
Probably my connection.
So Norris setting the fastest lap on lap 2. So he's doing his best to get away from the pack. He's already broken DRS to Leclerc. So that was a good sign for the McLaren. We've got Russell still on the back of Ocon, still trying to make his way through. Race control, instant turn 1. Russell noted leaving the track and gaining an advantage. It looks like he's trying to get round Ocon on every point on this track, so if he can gain an advantage anyway, he's going to try it. He's got him into the hairpin just before the main straight, but Ocon will probably come back at him. But did Russell get the DRS? He did. But with Ocon in the slipstream, is he going to come back at Russell? He's trying. Perez is going to try and get the pair of them. Ooh, good defending by Russell.
From my point of view, unfortunately, I'm going to have to go onto a different screen online.
No problem.
My connection's just a bit weird. It's not letting me.
No problem. I will make an adjustment for you on my one. Turn down the resolution a little bit. Uh-oh, think we're going to have some technical... Oh, we got some technical problems going on. That was weird.
Yeah, that was weird.
Just the whole lot just crashed for me there for a second. There you go. We should have it back. But yeah, track limits is going to be an absolute issue going through this race, as we've seen here many times before. So I have to wait and see what will happen.
Yeah. And like Midnight just alluded to, we might have some technical difficulties this evening.
Yeah, can't get the cameras working properly.
Can't get the cameras working, and then everything else is just like, nope, I don't want to work today.
Mm-hmm. I bet most of the engineers out there, apart from the Red Bull guys, are hoping for the same problems with Verstappen's Honda engine.
You never know.
Saying it, Max is falling back from Lewis. This is strange.
Really?
Yes, and now Hamilton has got signs, so we've got the Mercedes boys trying to make their way through the field with... Doesn't look like the Red Bulls are particularly competitive at the moment. That's interesting.
Maybe potentially when it's in traffic it's not very good. But when it's in clean air, that's it. When it turns into a rocket ship.
Very true with that Red Bull. And as Pedro has just alluded to, we've got Tsunoda in P10, and Ocon may have sideboard damage. Is that from Russell by chance? So we've just seen a replay of the start. It looks like Norris got an absolute cracker of a start, and so did Lewis.
Yeah.
Looks like the Ferrari boys weren't too good on the draw, but now we've got Lewis making his way through the pack, and it looks like Lewis forced Max off the track a bit there. But I will say...
Pedro said Piastri gained 4 places on the start there.
Absolutely. Cracking from the McLaren duo. They're seeing such a resurgence in the second half of this year and last year. They're doing so much better, particularly in how that car started the season. It was so impressive to see McLaren not tail off on the development like they have done historically. Verstappen's camera looked all funky there. That was weird. But we're going to see an on-board with Verstappen, and I think we're just going to see Lewis come across. Yeah, and Max did the right thing there, and he went wide. He couldn't have gone anywhere else. So any initial impressions so far, Sarah, of that, how the race has gone? Or have I lost you again?
I'm here, I'm just dealing with some technical difficulties on my side. But, no, other than that, really, Verstappen's obviously just gained a place on signs. Just a good showing for the McLaren so far, and Hamilton, and obviously Lando. But apart from that, setting up for a good race so far. Hopefully Lando can hold on to it. You never know, he might get his first win.
We can hope.
Is that, yeah, I was going to say, is that achievable? We don't know just yet.
One thing my very keen eye, or basically my eyeballs, can spot is that the Ferrari doesn't look like it's got good race pace. We've got Leclerc falling back from Norris, and Sainz has obviously been passed by Verstappen. So Ferrari doing Ferrari things, unfortunately, Sarah. But
Ferrari doing Ferrari things.
shocker, right? Then you've got Hamilton on the back of Leclerc. So I think we might be about 5 or 6 corners from a Brit 1-2.
Potentially.
Hmm.
And how quick will it take Hamilton to catch Norris?
And as we know from historically speaking, Hamilton has won here a bunch of times. I've actually lost at how many times he's won here. But this is a track he does like, and he will be going for that win. He hasn't won since 2021. So he's going to be going for it. And obviously Norris, he wants his first win. So this could be actually one of the best battles we've seen all year.
Yeah.
As Lewis makes his way up into P2. Yeah, Leclerc, he couldn't have really done much about that.
No, it looks like Ferrari definitely struggling here. Pedro did say that they've gone for a higher downforce car today. Well, this weekend in general.
What, Ferrari or Mercedes?
Ferrari, sorry.
Okay. They do look like they've got a bit of a chunky rear ring on that. Chunky. But there you go.
Lower downforce setup, sorry.
Oh, really?
The tyre deg will be higher than usual.
All right. It is worth noting that I know a lot of the teams. I know Mercedes and Aston Martin were bringing upgrades this weekend. So maybe Mercedes have finally banished that extra drag setup they've had for a long time.
Yeah, although in the sprint race yesterday, it didn't look on the straights that they're
Ocon retiring.
fast at the moment.
They do or they don't?
They don't.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they still look quite slow.
Alright, so they've still got it, but maybe he's just used a bunch of his battery to get past. Okay, replay. Looks like that 1 or 2. Okay, so that was into the side.
Damage for Piastri as well.
I think that probably will be, to be honest. I mean, I think he's taken a chunk of Piastri's floor out, but he's still running P6, so
Yeah.
maybe McLaren hid an upgrade today. So well done to Piastri for the McLaren build quality there, I guess, because that has taken out Ocon. Okay, Max is slowly moving in on Leclerc, but he's bringing Sainz with him. And now Hamilton is actually past Leclerc. He's not really moving away, so maybe he's had to use a lot of his battery to get past, and now he's having to sort of use his hybrid engine to recharge itself while he gears up for catching up with Norris. But at the moment, Leclerc hanging with him a little bit.
Yeah. Maybe Verstappen just got to that point where he's like, I just want to have a race with someone today.
Yeah, I'll accidentally carry an extra ballast of about 3 or 4 stone, see if I can have a race. Okay, yeah, Ocon's checking out his side pod. It doesn't look mangled, it looks dented, but as we know, these aerodynamics are so finely tuned. If you put a couple of millimeter out anywhere on the car, it will ruin the aerodynamics all the way back. So Hamilton 3.1 off Lando, caught him 2 tenths somewhere. Alonso dive bomb.
Jesus.
It's less impressive now we know it's on a Williams, but still.
Yeah, obviously Alonso's Q3 run unfortunately ended this weekend.
Terrible.
The qualifying result. And starting from the pit lane today as well.
But it looks like all drivers out there, with the exception of Stroll and Hulkenberg, on medium tyres. So who have you got your eye on in this one so far, Sarah? Who are you watching out for? Don't say Norris, because I mean that's obvious. Have I lost you again?
I was just eating.
Oh, okay. Do I always wait to ask you something when you're eating?
Yep.
Small bites, Sarah. Small bites. I'm eating Cadbury's chocolate fingers, not sponsored. And I just go, hump.
Yeah, but I'm eating like a bagel thing, so I can't really just but probably Hamilton for me. See if you can catch Lando and kind of keep playing Verstappen behind him. Apart from that, further down the field, probably. Quite sure. I mean, I hope that Albon can maybe get 10th in that Williams. Apart from that, just see what happens really. And you?
At the moment, I've got my eye on Alonso to see what he can do, but otherwise, I'd be agreeing with you. I'm going to see what Russell can do as well, because I think he can get past Piastri if he's got any speed. If Piastri's got any damage rather. And then it's going to be a straight shot, see what the Ferraris do, because I think Verstappen, although he hasn't there, he will get past Leclerc at some point. So, yeah. And Pedro, we are both having some technical difficulties with cameras and captures and all that sort of thing. So, what you see is what you've got, I'm afraid.
Yeah, unfortunately. Probably didn't help that we were really rushed. Or everyone's watching it at the same time and our laptops and connections and stuff. It's probably just like, nope, I don't want to do it today. Done enough.
Exactly that. I can see my connection's not at peak setting at the moment as well, so it's probably at equal problems, I'm afraid. Until we've all got New Zealand fibre with 3,500 megabits up and down, I think we're going to have this problem. Maybe you should move, Sarah. What do you think?
Maybe, yeah. No, unfortunately not been able to fix it, Pedro. Because it would require us to have more time.
Yeah. And right, Pedro. Yeah, we can see Joe's spitting. It's but that is early, isn't it, Sarah? Yeah, 10 laps in.
Yeah.
Norris thinking Plan A. What do we think Plan A is? 1 stop or 2 stop?
You know what? I think they might. No, actually, maybe 1 stop. I was gonna say maybe they're gonna put him early and go for a 2 stop. But I reckon maybe keep him out until the pace and the tyres.
Oh, okay, we've lost Piastri.
Yeah, he's going very slowly.
Yeah, that's going to be a retired car. Yeah, I could just heard Crofty say that might be a cooling issue. I was just thinking if he's got damage to the side pod, there might be. No, he seems to have picked up the speed again. Maybe he had a spin. No, wait. It's hard to see what he's doing. He's going fast in some bits, slow in others. No, there he goes. He's off the side of the track now. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if he's had a clunk on the side pod, and even if the side pod hasn't broken, maybe a radiator's taken an impact. But a load of drivers are jumping in the pit lane. Albon, Bottas, and K-Mag.
Maybe a general problem for Piastri's car this weekend.
Could be. I mean, who's to say if it's just a technical issue or if it is due to impact damage? We'll find out, I suppose.
Yeah, obviously, if there's like a massive dent or a hole in his side pod, probably does allude to something going wrong there in that collision.
Yeah, we shall find out. But this is very early for a bunch of pit stops. Retirement for Piastri. So it would be Max. Max and Leclerc going side by side. Max, what? Oh, I absolutely hate them pushing each other off the road. I absolutely hate it. It's like, it's my corner. Whoomp, off the road. Modern F1. It's the thing in modern F1 I hate the most.
Yeah.
I can understand that in the first corner, all the way from the other part of the lap, just dive bombs and pushing off the road. I hate it. Right, enough of that. So Max has made his way through. Whether that's legal or not, we will find out in a moment. But we need to see an overhead, really.
No, yeah.
Looks like Russell... Who was he behind? He was behind Ocon, wasn't he? And he retired. But Russell's not made his way up to the Ferraris at all yet, so...
No.
I was half expecting anyone who gets clear air to start being the fastest person on track, but it doesn't look like anyone is at the moment. It looks like they're all going roughly the same speed. So, Max, yeah, he's pushed him off.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Leclerc couldn't go anywhere there.
Yeah.
And you can definitely argue that Leclerc was in front there.
Yeah. I mean, it's very well that you could argue that he's outbraked Leclerc, who left the door open, which is completely valid, but you have to leave space.
I was going to say, you got to leave him a little bit of room on the road.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to get started on how much I hate that, because it will just make my blood boil. But it is good to see that Leclerc is still hanging with him, showing that that Red Bull is not going to be the clear fastest car on the track. Which, if anything, is going to bode well for next year's Formula 1. Because the rules are going to be a lot more stable. And I'm hoping the teams that are out there can develop as much as Red Bull and at least give us some racing for next year. Because we've had, as far as I'm concerned, one very good race this year, which is Singapore. And the others have been a bit so-so. So Perez is complaining about something. Maybe he's complaining about Russell and track limits. I didn't really see there. Hamilton with fastest lap. So here he comes. Maybe he's had a few laps to recharge his battery, and now he knows that Max is behind him. He's like, oh, gotta go again.
Go. Yeah, I think that was about Russell going back and deleting track time for him. So, I don't know, potentially, if he's not careful, track limit penalty.
And as Pedro says, all the time you have to leave the space.
All the time you have to leave the space.
I just noticed something really weird.
What?
Oh, Logan Sargent absolutely dive bombing K-Mag. No, yeah, it was K-Mag. Didn't quite make it, pull it off though. But when we just went on board with the helmet cam for Sargent, there was something really weird about it.
Yeah.
It was the wrong way round.
Was it?
Yeah, you went right around the last corner, and it's a left-hander.
Oh.
So they got the image flipped. That looked really weird.
Just here to confuse us, really.
Yeah. But that nearly worked out for him, but K-Mag is a very difficult person to get past. Saying it, he's going to come up to the DRS zone for the back straight. And yeah, I agree with that, Pedro. It's going to be good for Drive to Survive. The sheer fact it's going to be the American in America. It looks like a good couple of the liveries out there have American flags on them. And it's good to see, yeah, the Williams normal livery that's back. I didn't like that Golf one.
You say that, though, but they've got a USA.
I know. I meant they've got the extra little bit on the back.
Yeah.
But it's primarily it's the standard one. Because I like that nice deep blue, but the Golf light baby blue, not a fan of it. Each unto their own, of course. So, okay, Hamilton, update. He is moving in on Norris. And Max isn't really making an impression on him. Leclerc's only a second and a half off the back of Max, so we could easily see some undercutting here. But I'll tell you what, if you look at the pack, it's like 1.5, 2 seconds between basically every driver out there. So, undercutting is going to be really difficult, because you're going to come out in traffic no matter where you end up.
Only 2 seconds between Norris and Hamilton now.
Yep.
Under 2 seconds now.
Yeah, moving towards him. But has Lando been a bit more intelligent? Has he saved tyres? Or has he pushed too hard and now Hamilton's catching him? So, we shall see.
We shall see. Oh, he's homing in on him.
Thank you for the info, Pedro. Good to know. I mean, I'm hoping to see Andretti on the grid in 2026.
Very cool, Pedro.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting us know.
And the earlier they start doing testing, the quicker they can go, the more money they can actually spend on it as well, because they won't be governed by the Concord Agreement and the budgetary commitment. So, we never see it, but a team coming in are technically unregulated, so they can outdevelop, if they have the personnel and the finances to do so, outdevelop all the current manufacturers. Could be interesting, couldn't it, Sarah?
Sneaky, yeah.
I mean, if I was a sneaky person and I had a few extra $1 billion like a Red Bull person, what you would do is run one team 1 year, drop out the next year, but replace it, have another team come in every other year and just flip them back and forwards, and you technically get around the budgets.
Yeah.
But better not give Red Bull or a Helmut Marko that idea. Oh, Prince Harry's here.
Yeah.
I thought he renounced his title.
He did. Though I think he's still referred to as that.
Okay. Hello, Prototype. He's never going to let me live that down.
Is it about the Corvette?
It is, yes. Every time I see him, red Corvette, I haven't forgotten.
Are you sure?
I actually am. Because as soon as I saw the name Prototype come up, he's going to ask me about the Corvette, isn't he?
Lewis is getting closer.
No further action between Leclerc and Verstappen. Now, I'm going to call BS on that one straight away. Okay, so Norris is complaining about his tyres. So, Bono, his tyres are gone. So, okay, that is real world pace from Norris at the moment. But he has actually pulled out a tenth of a second or so on Lewis. So, perhaps Lewis with the same problem.
Yeah, gap towards about 2 seconds-ish.
Take a snapshot right now. Who's winning the race, Sarah?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't want to say Max, but I don't know. Will the car kind of switch on and Max does his thing?
That is the question.
He's only in third.
And he isn't catching Lewis. So,
I'd like either Norris or Hamilton to win.
Right, we have the Red Bull boys out in the pit lane. Max is in, so he's going to go for the undercut. Medium tyres again, so we are clearly going for at least a 17:34. Yeah, we're going for 2 stops.
Yeah.
So, okay, I would put any money on probably Hamilton pitting this lap, because otherwise he's going to get undercut by Max.
Yeah.
Prototype says, at least there is no yellow sausage spine-breaking curbs on either side of the track. True. Very true. Because, Sarah, you've met someone who's hurt themselves here, haven't you?
Yeah, Abby Eaton. Yeah. I remember watching that clip of getting up on the curb and then just slamming down. Obviously she broke a few
vertebrae.
in her back. Yeah.
Yeah. And, I mean, I didn't believe it. I mean, you could break your back in such a manner until I watched it, and I was like, oh, good God, that hurt.
Yeah.
And hello to Cass as well. Well, hello there, Cass. Right, Ferrari boys getting ready.
Same as the Mercedes boys getting ready.
The boys and girls, just to be completely equal.
Yep. It was very painful to watch, yeah.
Hmm.
But glad obviously she's back racing. And,
Norris is in.
Pleasure
Lewis.
of, getting coached by her around Brands Hatch.
Oh! Sorry, Norris going a bit sideways into the pits there.
Yeah.
Cass says, how's the race looking? Fast. And in all honesty, it's looking really good. Not the greatest of stops from Norris, for the McLaren.
Not now that we know what McLaren is capable of.
Yeah. Sainz is in as well. Yeah, 1.8 seconds at Qatar, as we know. I think Perez come in too. I think they double stopped the Red Bulls. They did. Okay, so game on. Lewis has gone round again. So is he going to go on a one stop? Like go to hard tyres around about lap 25? If so, that is daring. But to answer Cass's real question, the race is looking good. We just had Norris in the lead with Hamilton in
Norris
second.
has gone to hards.
That's interesting.
So potentially going the full way, maybe.
I think it's too early. I think it's too early. I think if you were to go to lap 35...
Especially what can happen around here.
I've got a favour to ask Pedro. Can you have a look at the tyre allocation and see what Norris has got left? Because it could be he's been pushed into that because of his tyres allocation remaining.
Saying that, Pedro said, oh, Orlando might not have any more new sets of mediums.
That might be why. And Prototype said Abby Eaton got a spine break from F1 Sport Race W Series 2 to 3 years ago. Yeah, that's what we were referring to. It was here at COTA. And she was a lovely person, wasn't she, Sarah?
Yeah. And like I said, I had the pleasure of getting coached by her around Brands Hatch, which was fun.
I can imagine.
And like I said, I'm glad that she's back racing at the moment.
Quite right. Okay, so strategically, Hamilton and Leclerc and Russell actually, the two Mercs and the remaining Ferrari are still circulating on those original medium tyres. And Mercedes are asking Lewis if he has another 5 laps in those tyres. So is he going to go double medium soft, or is he going to go medium hard until the end? Now that's the question. And Max with the fastest lap. Shocker. Okay, so the strategy is opening up. I like it when they have this, because it gives you a big offset between the drivers. I mean, the people that go for the undercut suffer towards the end of their stints. And although Max has done that, he's the quickest man on track, he will suffer towards the end. So the longer this goes on, the better it's looking for particularly Hamilton in this case.
Definitely interesting, because obviously we definitely know Max has got to pit again. He's got to. Norris, on the other hand, doesn't have to. But will those hards last as long? Not sure. And maybe Mercedes are going clever here by keeping him out just that little bit longer, and then hoping towards the end of the race that Norris's hards, obviously being older, the pace will be slightly lacking.
Agreed. Replay for Hamilton. Has he messed up turn 1? Yes, he has. No, might be in the final turn. Oh,
that maybe answers his question from Mercedes of that he can't stay on it for much longer.
Definitely answers the fact he's pushing really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're quite right, Sarah, and you're the one with the knowledge around here for trying to go really long on tyres, aren't you? After our pre-GP. So you did it, but it's one of those. Did it feel like the right thing to do in the end? Well, time will tell in the real world compared to the virtual, won't it?
So definitely not. But it's looking good for Hamilton maybe securing that P2.
Oh, Haas slow getting away. Yeah, and we have heard rumours.
Yes.
Well, when I say rumours, it's been statements from Helmut Marko that if Perez loses P2 in the championship, bye-bye, basically.
Basically, yeah.
And where's Perez at the moment, Sarah?
P8,
Where's Hamilton at the moment?
P1.
It's not looking good for Perez, is it?
No.
Alright, okay. They're now saying, Mercedes is saying, that Verstappen is inside Hamilton's pit window, which essentially means he's going to be undercut. Hamilton's going to be undercut by Verstappen. But Lewis will have, is he pits now?
This has got to be super quick from Mercedes.
Absolutely.
Please, Mercedes. Fingers crossed. Come on. No! Oh.
No. Okay, so Max has done Lewis, but Lewis is going to have much softer tyres. But yeah, that is a slow stop from Mercedes. It's not what we wanted to see.
No. Lando used to remain in set of mediums in the race start.
Right. So
It looked like hit that. What was it? The front right. They were late to put that on.
Williams on the house.
Come on, Mercedes, please.
I just noticed that gigantic flag into turn 1. That's huge. Size of a boat.
Although it does make it a little bit better for Norris, I guess, with that slower stop.
Yeah, it's made life a lot easier on him as Norris just made his race straight past Russell. So, okay, Russell's now effectively a pit stop behind everyone else. He's doing his trick of goal hanging again.
The graph of all the tyres available for each driver. Yeah, go for it, Pedro. Go for it.
Okay, Russell box. So Leclerc's still circulating. Prototype says he feels like Max is waiting for safety car chances. Maybe. I would have definitely said that about Leclerc and Russell. I think Max has got the speed to do it by himself, but Norris is on the harder wearing tyre, so he can definitely go longer into this race. Okay, Mercedes seem happy with the strategy. They seem happy they've offset between Max and Lewis, so we'll see what happens towards the end of the race. Maybe Mercedes are playing the long game.
Yeah, like I said a minute ago, we know Verstappen has to pit. But if he can keep near-ish or within the pit window to Max, he'll gain that track position towards the end. Obviously, probably not the best when he's trying to win a race.
Quite right. But yeah, Hamilton is on those hard tyres, so... But what do you reckon? 35 laps on those hard tyres around here? I think I'd rather be thinking about going medium hard than soft, but I guess we'll see. So what happened on the replay for the front right? Front right, Sarah, yeah, you called it.
Yeah. It just looked like they were just taking so much longer than they needed to.
Do we know...
Lando,
You go first.
Pedro just saying Lando gained quite some time on Lewis. Yeah, probably helped with that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that's gone from 2 seconds up to about 9. What is the track temperature? Do we know that? As Russell and Gasly look like they almost come together on the hairpin, because that will be a big factor in how these tyres both warm up and degrade. Yeah, I do agree with you, Pedro. It is such a shame that the pit stop went wrong, but it only lost him about 1.6 seconds, which still would have put him easily out behind Max and Norris. So we shall see what happens in the latter part of this stint.
Track temperature 41.3 degrees Celsius.
That's hot.
It's hot.
It's not Qatar hot, but it's hot.
Yeah, might explain why some of them came in early then. Maybe tyre degradation is a bit high, as we can see both Hasses running last and second to last. So with the tyre on the worst degradation, probably indicating that it is quite high.
Which would mean, I think, Max has probably still got to go to the hard tyre, whereas Hamilton and Norris will have 3 tyre choices, presuming they have some fresh sets of tyres remaining.
Yep, I will, saying that, I will check Pedro's graph if he sent it to me and see what tyres are available for each driver.
Prototype just went, this track is barbecue. But I will maintain it's not as hot as Qatar, which was an absolute slog for all the drivers out there. And there's been a lot in the news, and I saw an interview with Brundle, which I didn't particularly agree with, I will say. But I am still surprised that all the drivers had such difficulty at the end of the last race. However, would I want to be in it? No. Would I want them to go through it again? Also no. Because I think that was a bit much.
Did you hear what Norris just said to his engineer?
No, I didn't.
They're going to go plan B, which either offsetting or staying out, I believe. They believe the race is with Verstappen because they know he has to pit again.
Okay, so they believe the race is against... Right, I'm with you. And as Cass said, Qatar is in the desert area, mate. It's expected to be hot. Yes. But with Qatar, I'm going to go over Qatar again because we're at Kota. But that was because they had the tyre limit and they were essentially qualifying laps all the way through it. So, and that'll be sorted next year when they go to December.
Cool. So,
hit me.
Verstappen has after his pit stop, he's got no soft mediums, so he's only got hards that he can go to at the end, unless he goes on a use soft. Trying to have a look. Where's Norris? There he is. So he uses fresh mediums. He's got 2 sets of, well, now 1 set of hards that he can go on to, or use medium. Other than that, Hamilton, where's Hamilton on the graph? Where is Hamilton on there? Found him. Right, so he started on mediums. He's got 1 set of mediums left. New set. Or use softs. So, don't know. Maybe Norris is staying out because he could only go on to either a new set of hards or use softs. And Verstappen can only go to hard tyres if he wants a brand new set.
It's going to make it tricky, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's going to be tricky. Okay, so it looks like out of there, everyone who's pitted later has ended up behind everyone, so the undercut is immensely powerful here, as Lando ran very wide into that hairpin. Did you see that, Sarah? He was about 10 feet wide of the hairpin, so it looks like he is struggling, and Max is going to catch him, I feel, at this point.
Yeah. Well, he is on the obviously the faster tyre.
Yeah, here we go, replay of it. I mean, how much did he miss this by? Did he lock his tyres? Yeah, lock front left. Wasn't too bad in the end, but it was wide.
Too bad, yeah, but definitely lost him some temps.
At this point, I think if Max is to catch Norris, and even if he pits again, I think he's going to catch Norris on fresh tyres. So I think now the race it's Max's, I feel. As we've said before, I know.
Yeah.
As we've said before, I don't feel that Red Bull is super dominant, as people claim it is. Just they get everything right, particularly when it comes to the strategy.
Yeah.
I think the challenge from Lewis has kind of disappeared a little bit as well. He's only caught about a second on Norris. I think it's going to come down to tyre wear for Max, I feel.
I believe it's either going to be Norris or Verstappen.
Yeah.
I think Hamilton with that pit stop. Yeah, I mean, maybe, like they said, maybe Norris is pushing a bit too hard, but I don't know.
I was going.
See Hamilton catching up for the win unless something drastic happens.
Yeah. Hmm. Okay, Verstappen is now within DRS range. Here we go. Oh, I was just wondering if Norris is struggling with heating up those tyres, but with a track temperature of 42, probably not. And that's 42 Celsius, not for the Americans out there. Which will be 42 in Fahrenheit, it's just above freezing. So, Celsius.
Yeah. That Red Bull is fast on a straight though.
He did struggle to get past the Ferraris though, which was surprising. Although if they have gone for the low downforce setup, that might explain it a bit more. Yeah, that's the last thing you want to see behind you. It's someone called Max Verstappen on a softer set of tyres. Prototype.
Windy now.
I would agree with that. Is Perez able to hold on to second place in the championship from Hamilton? Well, with current performances, no. We're just going to be coming up to halfway through the race at the end of the next lap. I think this is one of the... It's only the second race this season so far that hasn't seen Verstappen lead the race.
Yeah.
So far.
Speed of the wind is roughly 9 miles an hour. Yeah, the wind's probably not helping.
Doesn't sound like much, but that's enough to put the aerodynamics of F1 cars off quite badly. Now, let's see how well that Red Bull can deal with the turbulence coming off the back of the McLaren.
Yeah, dirty air and a bit windy.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why he's struggling a little bit to pass them.
Could be. And we did see in Singapore that he had a lot of trouble getting in the pack, so I guess we'll see.
I think the only thing interesting now is that we definitely know that Max has to pit, where the two around him don't.
True, and we know it's about a 22-25 second penalty to pit, so if Max were to pit right now, he would definitely come out somewhere around 7th or 8th. So that's still a lot of work for Max to do if he's going to
Sainz and
extra stop.
Checo will also have to pit again.
So that is Norris, Hamilton and Leclerc, the other members of each team, are not well, maybe not pitting. Max dive bomb, here we go. Norris cutting back. Now Max is going to have the line into the right-hander. Now there we go. That was actually a very good move from Max. I didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah, no, neither did I.
So, okay, that was a cracking move from Max.
Okay, good night guys. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, okay, we didn't manage to get half the way through the race without Max leading. That's time to go to bed.
Hopefully Norris can keep at least semi-close to him. Obviously knowing the confidence that he has got to pit again.
I don't know if he went off. Okay, they're not sure if Max passed him off the track. I don't believe so. What do you think, Sarah?
I don't think he did. Because Norris went wide. Verstappen went into the inside.
Replay.
I don't think he went off wide. He didn't go off.
That is a hell of a move.
I I think the closing.
Oh, I'll tell you what though, he was on the line.
He was on the line.
I think that's perfectly judged.
Yeah. I mean, the closing speed of the Red Bull definitely.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
illegal.
we weren't expecting that.
No. I do have a theory that a lot of the drivers, when they see Max behind him, they defend very, very differently than if it was another driver. They know he's going to lunge,
Yeah.
and somehow he always gets away with it. But that was pinpoint accurate there. You can't deny that one. I mean, jeebus.
When did Sargent overtake Danny?
I
Did he
don't
go
think
on
we.
track or in the pit?
I don't know. I don't think we've seen it, to be honest. We haven't seen much of Sargent other than when the Americans put him on the screen, because obviously he's going to be looked at a lot this weekend. Sargent and Stroll under investigation. Okay. The two North American drivers being looked at. Also, did you know Stroll's real name isn't Stroll?
I feel like I did, but I don't know. I think I heard it like something a while ago, but remind me.
I can't remember what it actually is, but it's a lot longer. Prototype went troll ? I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why Pedro told me before. Like I said,
Strolovich, yeah, that's it.
yeah. I was to say, I've heard it somewhere before.
I like that though. That was good.
Should have known it was you,
Troll.
Pedro.
Yeah. I saw it on TikTok the other day. I don't know if it's you that sent it to me, Pedro, but I saw it on TikTok. Okay, so Sainz currently has the fastest lap. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Norris is still within DRS of Max. Also interesting. If anything, Norris is getting closer. Okay, now it's sort of yo-yoing about a bit every
Yeah.
timing point. And Hamilton's
Stay
only...
like that, it's fine.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's still strong for the McLaren, isn't it?
Yeah.
Although they're going to want the win, let's be honest. And we want that too. Imagine if he was called Lancelot Strolovich.
Trying to just listen to Sainz's message.
Well, it's a battle between Sainz and Perez at the moment, I feel, for P4. Hamilton is starting to close in.
Both of them needing to pit.
Yeah.
I see Yuki in P9. Yeah, I mean the cars around him. We obviously know that the Astons aren't great this weekend. Williams a little bit down on pace, but Haas, worst tyre degradation of them all. And then the Alphas again, not very good car.
Can you see something flapping on the front of Norris's car?
Where am I looking?
Halo. Yeah,
Oh,
it's,
the front.
it's like some paint's come off or something.
Yeah. The little like.
Here's to open a discussion. It's obviously Danny Rick's first race back. Prototype says if Liam stayed, he would be 2 to 4 places ahead of Rick.
Potentially. Hi Mario.
Hey, Mary. But discussion point: do we feel? This is what I'm going to relate it to. I'm going to open the conversation saying, Perez, has he done enough to retain his Red Bull, not Formula 1, but Red Bull seat for next year? Bear in mind, he has won 2 races this year.
Oh.
And if not,
I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like second half of the season he's just not really been there, unfortunately. If that's, I don't know, maybe losing confidence in the car, with the setups being not suited to him, I'm not sure. But I mean, when you're always picked up against Verstappen, it's always going to be a lot of pressure on your head. So maybe the pressure has got to him. Other than that, I don't know. It's just he's just not been able to be on par with Max.
And that's the biggest teller, isn't it?
But then, is anyone else going to be on par with Max in that Red Bull?
Yep. And I completely agree with Mario. At Red Bull, there's no guarantees. Anything can happen at any point with Red Bull.
Exactly.
Okay, Nico, I think that was on Albon, around the outside of the hairpin at the end of the big straight. Nice one.
What's that link, Jack? I can't open it right now, but...
Spotify, something or other.
Yeah. Hello, Jack. How are you? Lando is somewhat keeping up with Max, yeah? Which is good to see, obviously. It's Nando's. I'll check it out afterwards.
Prototype says Perez is sponsored by a Mexico company. If Red Bull lose that, no funding. I think Red Bull have enough funding. They could literally pay for the whole F1 project out of pocket if they wanted to.
Mario, Perez also needs to pit, unfortunately. So probably not. Sainz has to pit as well. I mean, didn't he start on hard? Good question.
Do you know what? I don't remember.
I mean, but Perez did. He pitted. Did he pit first?
He pitted Max and him and double stopped.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, Perez definitely has to pit again. I don't think he can last that long in the mediums, unfortunately.
Yeah. But are we going to see Norris and Hamilton go another 20 laps on a set of hard tyres? I'm struggling to see that, you know. Suddenly Norris's pace has just dropped off. He's went from 1.1 seconds behind Max, now 2 seconds in about half a lap. So I feel Norris's tyres are dropping off already.
Potentially. We did think it was quite early. Talking about that second Red Bull seat though, who do you reckon is the best person for it?
Out of the grid or out of their current Red Bull family?
Out of their current, I guess, talent pool, in a way.
I would say out of partial bias, partial reasoning, I would put Danny back in there. And just to see if he's still got it. Because if he can match Verstappen, then they've got 2 A-grade drivers. If he fails, they know they can get rid of him and get some of the younger drivers back in. But to me, there's still a big question mark on Tsunoda. I still don't know if he's done enough to be in F1 long term, but I do think Liam deserves a place at least in the AlphaTauri for next year. And it's Perez, his confidence is destroyed. So, how do you feel about it, Sarah?
Exactly the same. Yeah, Danny. Oh, Max struggling on brakes.
Yeah, I just saw that. I was wondering about that one.
That caught my attention. Both will struggle at the end, but it's a long time to lose for Max. Yeah, Danny back with Verstappen and give Liam a seat at Alpha. Yeah. But do you reckon Danny would be able to match Verstappen though?
At this point in his career,
I feel like he maybe should have waited one more race as well though, because footage has appeared from yesterday. He was struggling to get out of the car using both hands.
And he is clearly best part of 15 seconds behind Tsunoda today. Yeah, I mean, it's tricky. I mean, at Danny's age, it is tricky to recover from an injury and be straight back on it. And let's face it, he did break his wrist. Yeah. Okay, so he's pitting for an undercut. He's got to go back to medium, surely. Or was it a new set of hards? Looks like another set of hards. Okay. So Norris has to go nuts now. He's got to try and undercut Max.
I don't know about that, bro.
Okay. So I'm going to be wondering if Hamilton goes to the end. Just tries to hang it out there. But Max is probably going to have to pit this lap or next lap at worst if he's going to try and maintain any sort of position over Norris. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah. Oh, 23 seconds and an average pit stop is 20 seconds. Ooh.
It's going to have to be a perfect pit stop.
Lawson has an opportunity at a full-time seat because he fully deserves it, not only for what he did in the races when he was reserving for Danny. Hamilton pace catching Lando. Will Lewis have any tyres left at the end?
Question mark.
Plan backfiring. Lando has no chance. Red Bull DRS is powerful. Yeah.
It is. It's not as powerful as we've seen.
They're struggling a little bit with the brakes, and I think also the dirt. Yeah.
Verstappen in. Here we go. So it's a race of the team. Ooh, another power slide into the pits for Max.
I can't see it going Norris's way. Unfortunately, I think that pit stop is completely ruined.
Slow rear left. Okay, 3.3. He might come out side by side with him as we see Sainz pitting as well. Now, will Hamilton go to the end? And now, will Norris have a similar delta to Verstappen? Because this time, first time that Norris is going to have the same tyres as Max.
No. I'm going to bed. Good night.
I don't think it's over yet. And hello to White Wolf. It's not over yet.
Hamilton needs to stick to his plan now, yeah.
Mm.
In, then he's not winning it.
So that's 20 more laps on those tyres. The gap is only about 15 seconds from Verstappen to Hamilton. He only needs to catch him just over a second a lap to catch up to him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But Max is struggling on his brakes, and Norris is on the back of Max still. This is the first time they've had the same set of tyres in close proximity. So I don't think it's over yet, Sarah, but I do feel the problem of Max is now in command, isn't he?
No. They need to pass the Ferrari in traffic ahead so anything can happen. True.
So if Leclerc can hold up Max for 3 or 4 laps.
Hamilton has been asked to save some fuel to push at the end of the race.
Yeah, I can see what they're trying. If anyone can do it, it's Hamilton, but
Yeah.
this is going to be a tricky one. Okay, Norris, yeah, he started to fall back from Max already. It looks like Max has switched on his tyres.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Norris, unfortunately. I feel like that pit stop, wrong time. Both of Norris's pit stops have been at the wrong time.
Are those flags real or CGI, the big ones?
I believe they're real.
Because they did that a couple of years ago. They put gigantic flags, CGI, over the track.
I believe they're real.
Okay, so 15.2 seconds, Hamilton to Verstappen.
I don't think Charles has any chance of staying ahead of Max for much longer. Probably not on those old set of hards.
Is Hamilton going for another undercut on Verstappen? It would be an overcut at this point, but I get your meaning, mate.
Yeah. Big flag on turn 1 is real and a good way of identifying the wind direction.
Fair. Americans got to do everything bigger, haven't they? Just got to.
Yeah. And unfortunately, Mary, you may have noticed we can't see midnight on my screen.
I can't see you.
Yeah, so I can't see him on mine, and you and on his you can't see me. So We just had to unfortunately run the, the solo camera.
But what we need is some stock pictures of each other, just putting funny faces.
Yeah. Yeah. Signs again with fastest lap still.
On the hard tyres, that's strange. I dare someone in the top 10, like Alonso or Gasly or Stroll, pitting in the last 3 or 4 laps to go for soft tyres.
Yeah.
Just for that one extra point.
If they have any left.
Well, I think even qualifying used tyres, that's a weird statement, will still be quicker than these hard tyres.
Pedro's just informed us the track temperature might increase since the wind has slowed down now.
Well, watch this. I reckon this is going to see a dive bomb from Max and Leclerc at any point.
Good race from the Aston team so far. Yes, considering where they started.
Oh, there goes signs on Russell? Yes.
Yes. I questioned that because I was like, I can't quite see.
Okay, so Leclerc is clearly
In
struggling.
the pits.
Oh man, that's ruined that one, isn't it? So he's going to the medium, so he's going to have a racy and last 17 laps, but he's still going to come out behind Norris, I feel. So here comes Max on Leclerc, which we expected because Leclerc's on ancient tyres at this point.
Norris on the fastest lap though.
Yeah. So Hamilton's out of the pits. He's into turn 1 as Verstappen's going around that Maggot and Beckett's copy. Right, Sarah?
I'll allow you on that.
It's only about the 6th time you've been told today. Okay, so keep an eye on Hamilton. I think he's going to get P2, but I think we're going to be seeing Max disappear off out the front. So 6 seconds. Well, 8 seconds between Hamilton and Verstappen across 16 laps.
I pray Hamilton, please. Please.
Mario says, how did McLaren lose this race?
I know.
It's just race pace of McLaren and the Red Bull. And
Race pace, but also why did they pit him so early for those first set of hards?
they reacted to Max pitting, didn't they?
It wasn't the right time.
So, okay, we're seeing a replay of, I think, Norris dive bombing Leclerc. That is a hell of a move. I know we saw it on board, but I didn't realise how good that was. And as Prototype
Hamilton
said,
came out of the pits at a relatively bad time as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, Hamilton is now the only challenger to Max.
hang on a second. Hang on a Norris fastest lap. And there's Elon Musk. Who cares? Stop looking at the crowd. Hang on. Norris is only 1.1, 1.2 off Max.
If you can keep it that, if you can keep it that pace, it might be back on.
It's not over. This is interesting. Hamilton is 5.
Perez fastest lap.
Okay, Leclerc's clearly going to the end, so that's stupid. Prototype said 2 things. Do something, pokes at Kota, and then says, Latifi calls the safety car on lap 53. Stop reminding me of Abu Dhabi.
McLaren had race pace yesterday, but I believe Max is coasting. 1.4 seconds behind him now. It's that I don't want to believe it's over until it's over.
Well, it's every time we look away, and then Norris is suddenly a lot closer, and we look back, and then Norris is suddenly 2 seconds behind Verstappen again. It's really weird, isn't it?
Yeah. I know Alonso still has to pit, but he's doing quite well. He is, considering where he started.
He'll go for glory, though. He'll go for the soft tyre towards the end.
Yeah, I pray Hamilton can do something. He still has to pass, obviously, Leclerc and Norris within 15 laps. Considering Perez on hard tyres is getting faster laps than him, is it possible? Probably not.
I don't think Hamilton's catching him nearly fast enough.
No. He is flying, but not enough.
I just looked up at the timings and just the delta to Leclerc. I know it's down to 3.6 now, but it was at 3.9 at the end of the back last corner. Then it was at 4, then 4.3. So it's bounding all over the place. It's like he's fast in some sectors and slow in others. I'm not going to be surprised if we see Leclerc just go screw it in his pit, because he's going to have signs on the back of him shortly as well.
Yeah. I reckon Leclerc probably, if he pits now, even if he stays out, he's probably best at P7, P8. He's probably maybe even further.
I'd say P6, just the sheer fact he's going to come out behind Perez. Alonso's got to pit. Prototype says it's impossible to do one stop, pit stop on barbecue track.
I will know this track now. Barbecue track.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so Lewis is starting to catch. Okay. What we need is a delta between Verstappen and Hamilton on the screen, and they're not giving it to us.
Brakes seem to be an issue. They seem to be an issue, but he's still doing fine.
If he's been suffering with, say, front end overheating brakes, all he's got to do is switch it to the rear and it should sort itself out, or just increase the hybrid. Saying it, he doesn't look like he's getting away from Norris.
That gap hasn't really moved yet.
No. So when it comes down to the braking point and they get into that hairpin, it looks like they're a lot closer than they actually are as well. Interesting tactical race area, don't you think?
Yeah, unfortunately I think some missed calls, like...
Yeah.
But yeah, very strategic.
Well, Albon just undercut Danny Rick.
Yes. On the softer tyre though. So,
True. It's not a stellar performance from Danny, is it?
no, I feel like he might have rushed getting back in the car.
Yes, I would agree with you.
Hamilton on Leclerc, DRS.
Yeah, final corner now.
Yeah.
So it's not a race between Hamilton and Leclerc at all here. Will we see a dive bomb from Lewis? Black and white flag for Sargent. So Lewis is going to get massively good drive out the first corner. He's
Don't
not.
hold him up, Leclerc. Don't hold him up. Don't hold him up. Don't hold him up. Come on, no. Nice move by Albon, yeah. Good move.
Yeah.
Lewis pace discrepancy to Lando, but and Max should be similar or better at the end of race.
Right, here comes Lewis.
He overdrives his mediums, yeah.
Fortunately, Lewis has been around for a couple of Grand Prix. Only about 300 now, so he's got a little bit of experience at making the tyres last.
Yeah, but that car is still so slow on the straights. He's struggling to.
Here we go. You know, it was a year ago that we saw Alonso clatter into the back of Stroll here.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a hell of an incident. I believe I can fly. Whack! And takes off. So, 3.8 plus 2.65. So, just under 6 seconds between Lewis and Max. Okay. Okay. Genuinely impressed by Norris. Carry on.
I've got me Mercedes hat on.
Have you?
Yeah, I want Hamilton to win.
Who the fuck?
Norris. Either or. I've got both hats, so it's fine now. No, but I just don't want Max to win. I just want a little bit of an interesting into the race.
We're neutral in this.
Yeah, I don't want to like, oh, Max
Yeah.
again.
We're neutral in this. We just don't want Max to win.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
That's Stevie Wonder
Do you
GT,
want
by the way.
Lando and Lewis to win, or Max not to win?
Yes.
Either.
Yes.
We're happy with either option.
Yeah. Both are the same thing to us. I still think Max has got more in reserve. Norris is still starting to fall away from Max a little bit. I'm going to answer Mario's questions best as I feel I can. I'm not sure they pitted Lewis too late. I'm not sure the tyres are going to have life in them if he would have pitted earlier. So I just don't know if that he's got the speed to catch him. I don't know how you feel about that, Sarah.
Yeah, I suppose it's that he's still yet to obviously catch Norris, and it really depends. Like you say, towards the end, are those mediums going to have enough life? It'll probably be on the edge. So, yeah.
It does look like Hamilton is not catching Norris. Still at 3.5 seconds.
I was just listening to Leclerc's radio.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like saying, do you want to... was it? Do you want to go on to plan
D, E.
B or D, or do you want to keep plan C? So, like, what the hell? Plan C's ruining my lap, and it's too late anyway. Like,
Yeah, I mean, Ferrari have to stick with it now. Unless they go to soft tyres and just muller the rest of the field towards the end. Which, yeah, maybe, but maybe not. So that is Hulkenberg and Danny Rick. So Danny's heading backwards again. He's going to have Sargent passing him in a minute.
I agree, it's a big gap, and Lewis will need to pass Lando.
Yeah, he's only caught him half a second in the last lap or so. It's now down to a quarter of a second because, yeah, I think Hamilton's race is done here, I'm afraid. Maybe P2.
Mario, are you aware of the statement then? Lewis maximising points versus Perez today, Alonso on 2 points as well. I think everyone's just like, go on Hamilton, secure that P2, we want to see what goes down the Red Bull.
Yeah, and if that happens, Perez is looking very shaky for 2024, isn't he?
Danny is struggling, yes. Just got overtaken by Sargent.
Yeah, do you know what? I agree with Max on that one. Don't talk to me while I'm braking. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was absolutely fair. I mean, being distracted like that is an absolute pain.
Yeah. So just the thing you want to be told, isn't it? Like, just let him do his thing.
Leave me alone. I know what I'm doing.
Exactly, it's the same sort of vibe.
With the added, stop annoying me at this point.
Yeah. He talked to you in the straight or something.
Prototype says, quietly not watching F1 race, but watching the grandstand for any single. I do get the feeling you picked up on something I was noticing, that the cameras keep cutting towards the grandstand, zooming in on the ladies. Do you know what? It is really good to see the top 6 all within about 15 seconds of the leader. And it's a pretty good statement from F1 that the performance is a lot more levelled, particularly compared to earlier in the year. However, it is still Red Bull and Max still in P1.
He seems to give a car a break every other lap. Yeah. I suppose it's to prevent it overheating.
Could be. Or it could also be there's a lot of trouble with the wind out there. But
Or recharging.
Yep, could be. If Lewis gets Lando by lap 52, race is on, but has Hamilton got the tyres left?
Honestly, I think he has to do it before then.
Ideally. But it is also good to mention for the constructors, Norris in P2 currently is looking very good for McLaren to catch Aston Martin in the championship. Oh, as Stroll gets Tsunoda somewhere.
2 laps to get Lando. Lando will be clever and tag along with Lewis, yeah.
I'd agree with that. Yeah, Norris has now fallen 4.3 second to 4.2, 4.3 behind Verstappen, so that's not great for that battle.
Lando has been asked to recharge his battery for when the inevitable happens.
So stop pushing and wait to use it to defend.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what? Pot calling the kettle black on that one. Stroll complaining that someone moved late on the straight. Do you remember last year?
Considering last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that got me close.
Okay, Lewis going side by side with Norris. I'm expecting a cutback here from Lewis. Here we go. He's pushing. Okay. This is going to get tight. Good racing there from Norris. I mean, that was strong defence. Not late, just strong. Oh, Alonso. Problem. Okay, are we going to see a dive bomb from Lewis? Yay! Yay! Oh, I felt that one. I'll just check my heart rate. Yeah, it's definitely shot up a bit. Wow, cracking move from Lewis and stern defence there from Norris, but do you need to shoot my heart rate up that much?
Down the road he is already.
I know, I mean, Lewis catching Verstappen, I don't think so. Yeah, that's cost Lewis about at least a second or so, isn't it? So, good move from planning there from Hamilton to cut back and do the undercut on Norris, but very spirited from Norris. Okay, so place your bets now if anyone thinks that Lewis can catch Max.
Sorry, say that again.
I said place your bets now if anyone thinks that Lewis can catch Max.
I mean, I'd like to see him, but I don't know.
Okay, so that is Mercedes telling Hamilton that Verstappen is managing his brakes. He's still going to have to catch him 9/10 of a second a lap to catch him on the final lap.
Oh yeah. Too late, and the battle done Lewis tyres. Max will put in a couple of laps and win the race. Yeah, I mean we've got 6 laps left. If you can, like Midnight said, if you can catch him a second per lap, maybe it's on.
Maybe. Even then, we know Max's defending is going to be robust.
It's 4.9 at the moment.
Yeah, so he's got 0.2 a second so far this lap.
Need a second a lap and pass. Yeah, we can believe. Will it happen?
Signs on Leclerc.
Yeah, that was always going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was choreographed by Ferrari. I mean, that's sensible, to be honest. I mean, Leclerc going one stop on, quote, the barbecue track is just good driving from Leclerc, but he's going to be an easy victim for Perez, I feel. Do we feel that Verstappen is too aggressive on defence? Well, I don't think he's going to need to be. Shame for Alonso, he's obviously had to retire now. Yeah, if he's had floor damage running over a curb or a wrist suspension. What?
It's on the softs. He just put the fastest lap in.
Oh, yeah. It's completely pointless, but sure.
What the hell?
Yeah. Well, it takes the fastest lap away from the top 10, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, let's have an award for the most pointless, literally, fastest lap in the case of F1 this year. There it is. Ferrari think they can get Lando. 5 seconds between Sainz and Norris. Sainz is on the fresher tyres. No, hang on, no, they pitted about the same time. Now Leclerc's wondering why he had to let Sainz through. Well, Sainz has pitted an extra time more than you, and he's caught you, so Stroll might actually score points. We'll see. Albon, black and white lap for black and white flag for track limits.
Yeah, Claire isn't happy at all. But Ferrari things.
Yep. Hamilton is not catching Verstappen. So yeah, that size is catching Norris. So whatever it's been for the McLaren, they haven't enjoyed these hard tyres, it would seem, Sarah.
One second slower.
It seems like Norris is much more comfortable on mediums than hard tyres. He's not had any pace since having those hard tyres. So, okay, I think we're going to be finishing probably in the positions that we see now, with Verstappen, Hamilton, Norris and Sainz all about 4.5 seconds apart from each other. Couldn't have Alonso just had a sneaky little breakdown on track rather than bringing it home?
Imagine that last little dash to the end after a safety car. I think it's definitely going to be the race that could have been, but wasn't.
Perez on the back of Leclerc. Albon penalty. That's going to be for track limits.
Yes, I believe so.
But it's not going to affect him. He's in 11th anyway. And not to mention, Haas is 7.5 seconds behind him. So it's not going to be long before Perez is through on Leclerc. What do you think? Down into turn 1, Sarah?
Potentially, yeah. He's gonna have DRS. I was just thinking, there's probably more possibility of Sainz catching Norris than Hamilton catching Verstappen.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that. Hearing the Dutch anthem for the 22nd time. Well, this is not 22 in a row.
A race that could have been. It could have been.
Unfortunately, when it comes to Norris, it always seems to be the race that could have been, doesn't it? I mean, I think of Sochi a couple of years ago.
If you right, the Sainz on track for last lap battle with Lando potentially. What do you reckon? Was the call with the McLaren wrong, or like you say, the car's just a bit? Although it's fast, it's still got its.
I personally think that Max has got a better setup. I mean, he's been able to go double, medium, hard, and Norris has had double, hard, and one medium. I think it's just the delta in the tyres over a race distance. I just think the McLaren probably wears his tyres a little more. Max is very good on long runs. So, all in all, I feel Norris is probably getting the best out of the car he can.
Double hards though, like medium and then double hards, and putting him that early, it could have been so much closer.
I do agree, but I guess we'll never know. But he's now best part of 10 seconds behind Max. I don't feel that he's got the pace to match him across a race distance yet. I will sort of restate what I said earlier. It has been the car that was essentially one of the slowest at the beginning of the year is now only 10 seconds off and challenging for podiums and wins regularly. That McLaren has come a long way in 6 to 8 months. Max is still getting annoyed by his engineers talking to him in the braking zones.
Why'd you have to tell him? It's obvious.
Mm.
You've got 2 laps.
And a mirror.
I'm so sad that Lando can keep up with Max and not because he's lacking pace. Yeah. Maybe next year. We'll have Lando's win. Considering apparently the McLaren is going to be on par. Oh.
No, so I've just noticed the last 2 corners, Max ran a little bit wide, and we'll just say he's pushing the track limits. You can see how hard he's driving. He's worried about Lewis. It's down to 2.8 with 2 laps to go. It's not likely, but I think he's worried.
Yeah, so we saw a mature Max and a decisive Red Bull team with strategy, race 1 on strategy, and the tyre management of race. It's not over just yet. But you're probably right, Harry. Exactly, McLaren's development this season has been phenomenal, and most of it is done without the new facilities at their disposal.
Correct, and when they get that up and running for next year, I'm hoping for a strong 2024. And who knows who Cole Hauser is, by the way, because I don't.
Braking issue, he's super focused on the braking, hence annoyed at messages during braking. Yeah. But what do I have to tell him when he's braking?
Yeah, they got the whole pit straight. Yeah, they got the whole pit straight and whatnot. It's Cole Hauser. Prototype said that guy from Pitch Black. I know that movie very well. And the guy from Too Fast, Too Furious. So he's the bad guy from that. Oh, that's who it is. I just didn't recognise him in the Stetson.
Yeah, I did not recognise him at all.
Yeah. 2 seconds from Lewis to Max. Final lap coming up. It is too late. 1.9. He's gonna get within a second on the final corner, I feel. Unfortunately, I think that battle with Norris has cost Hamilton dearly.
Yeah.
But you have to say it's well within Norris's right to do exactly what he did. He put up a very spirited defence.
I can say he's fighting for his position, so.
1.6? Well, if only this was 2 laps ago.
Yeah, you're right, Maria. Yeah.
1.5. But we're going to see Max of DRS on the back of the Alfa Romeo, I feel, there. Well, maybe not. 1.4. It's a shame this race isn't 5 laps longer.
Yeah.
Max did get DRS. So Max has really been pushing his luck on some of these track limits, I really have to point out. Unfortunately now, Hamilton has got the turbulent air of the Alfa Romeo in front of him, so he's not even going to get within a second now. Unless Max's brakes explode. Now! Now!
Yeah. Oh my.
Now!
No.
Now! No, they didn't. I was doing my best at Emperor Palpatine. Now! So, win there for Max. I will still maintain they do not have the performance advantage they used to. However, Red Bull are still being the best team. Which I think is fair, Sarah.
Sorry, I was a bit distracted. I was listening to the Max is obviously he's got another record, but he's won all 3 of the American races so far.
Well, we've had 2 this year. We've got Las Vegas still to come.
Well, they've got that wrong then. They said 3. They definitely said 3.
Or maybe they mean he's on for it. That'd be my guess.
Slap. Still done it. Oh no. Yuki. Yeah, what a drive for Lewis.
Very impressive.
What could have been. Quite a few in the US now, so I think it means from last year, so he's won 3 times in the same country.
Okay.
I think that's the record I was referring to.
But we've got Lewis. He's won many times. I think he's like won 8 times on one track. I don't remember which one it is. Maybe not 8 times, but it's like multiple. I know like Michael Schumacher's won like 5 or 6 times in France. So maybe he's taken the record of the most wins at this track. Or in a row, perhaps. Could be Silverstone. Which has a very famous complex of corners in it, if I remember correctly. Which is copied here, actually. If you didn't already know.
No.
See what I did there? Okay, so welcome back to the Max Verstappen podcast.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to run that same livery at Las Vegas.
No, they're gonna run another fan created one.
Did you see who got the fastest lap?
Yuki, yeah.
Thank you, Pedro.
I saw that right at the end. I was questioning who got the fast lap, and then it popped up saying Yuki. I was like, oh, that's who.
Strong performance from Yuki, I feel, but we'll get into that. So, should we do our normal? Should we wait for the post-podium celebration and then do our thing?
Can do.
Works for me. Any particular highlights for yourself, Sarah, for this race?
No, I feel probably Lewis's charge at the end. But it was just too late. For me, it's the race that could have either Lando or Hamilton could have won.
Yep, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
So I'm a little bit. I'll be truthful. I'm a little bit disappointed. It's like could have been, but it wasn't.
Can I turn that around a little bit and give you a bit of a highlight from that? Yeah, I think it is good that you're disappointed for the sheer reason.
They're closer.
Yes, it's bright for the future. I know it's not what you want to see for today, but all I can say is Prototype's highlight. Can you see what he's written?
You see what Mario said? I feel like a child that was given an ice cream and it dropped at the first lick. Oh.
Yeah. Aww. That's a very good analogy for this race, actually, isn't it?
Yeah. Thanks for that, Mario.
Oh, man. Thank you for that. I really needed a smile after that one.
That kind of sums up perfectly.
Yeah.
Didn't even taste it.
Oh, dear. I'm going to predict... Okay, I may ruin the prediction by saying this. I feel our rating of the race is going to be fairly low. However, if we were to get this race earlier in the year, we'd be a lot more hyped about it. But I think it's been a very good race. It's been very diverse strategically, and we've seen a lot of action one way or another. Passes for the lead, dices for the lead. However, it's still a max win again.
Yep, exactly. Kind of sums it up that it was so close that we were hyped up, and then it was just like, it was. Like you say, it's good to see them that close again. Don't get me wrong. But it's just like, it's just what could have been.
I'm going to slightly disagree with Prototype here. It says the field is spread out too thin. I feel the top three teams are... Top three, yeah, because it's Ferrari, Mercedes and Red Bull. Relatively close together. But it's always the same one that gets the win. And, what, 1.8 seconds across 300 kilometres? It's quite close.
Yeah.
And that's his
Mario's
50th. Wow.
Best race of the season, maybe in many areas.
Mm.
I've seen every lap of it, so it's good.
I agree with that. And
Yeah.
I will maintain I think Singapore was better, but with a max win, this is the closest one yet.
I think Singapore was better because he wasn't in contention.
Yes.
But this one is up there as well because they were close. But it was at the end. I don't know. I feel at a point my rating of the race would have been quite high. Towards the end, it was going down, in my opinion.
Yeah, I get you on that. I fully
Does that
do.
make sense? Like, it could have been a high rating for me if it just stayed where it was. And then as I was seeing like the wins slip away, I was just bringing myself back down in the ratings. I was just like,
Not that we're at all biased, but we wanted a Norris win.
or Hamilton.
Yeah,
Either or. Like, I literally would have took either.
yeah. Okay, I'm going to land some factoids on you right now. That's Max's 50th win. If memory serves, I think Prost got 51 wins, and I want to say Vettel got about the same, maybe 51 and 53. So that puts Max roughly into, I think, third or fourth position for outright wins across Formula One history, and he's only, what, 26? So that is, oh my god, you know. I mean, at present rate, he'll catch Hamilton, who's got 103 wins in, we'll say, 16 races. He's had 15 wins this year. And so 16, 32, 38. In about 3 years, he'll be on par with roughly breaking Hamilton's total before he's 30.
That's crazy.
I know. I mean, oh, crap. Okay, I'm going to lay another factoid on you. I mean, last time we saw this amount of dominance from a team, and I don't mean in the hybrid era. In 2004, we saw Ferrari annihilate most of the championship, and next year they came back and said, the FIA went, right, you're doing one stop, no stop for tyres next year in 2005, which ruined Ferrari, and then, you know, whatnot. I don't want to see a reaction from the FIA going, this dominance is bad. It's not great, let's be brutally honest, but if we see this next year, I'd almost be thinking they've got to do something, because we can't have one driver winning 90% of races a year.
Yeah, no, I'd agree.
And I agree with Mario. It's there were less races back in the early 2000s and 90s and whatnot, so it is an irrelevant comparison. But see Prost win 51 races, I think it was. That's a god percentage, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. I was just listening to the interview, and the gentleman was like, "If it was a sprint race, it would have been yours." He's like, "Yeah, but it wasn't." Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd heard that rumour as well, Pedro, about Adrian Newey coming out with a god tier design for next year. I'd heard that one.
Please no.
I know, okay, this is going back to the 21 discussion somewhat again. Obviously, for that cost budget breach thingy that Red Bull breached in 21, it's this year that it's going to affect them, but it will also affect them into next year because the development time has been reduced this year, which covers both the development of this car and next year's car. However, they have one thing in their back pocket which no one else does, and that's called Adrian Newey. So, yeah.
Mario saying, I think a BTCC style with a number of laps of boost can potentially work. Yeah. Potentially. But then again, I guess it gets a bit more technical, and then it's like, oh.
Yeah, and then it sort of becomes very artificial, doesn't it? It's like he's got an... I mean, at some point they have to put an extra 100 kilo on Max's car to slow him down. At some point.
That'll probably just be like, yep, no, I'll take it, and then zoomed off.
It's that, or start looking at reverse championship grid positions.
Yeah.
At least for a sprint race. I'd pay to see that.
Yeah, although yesterday I did see the ideas floating around on Twitter as well with the sprint races, saying that they should reverse them, basically put in reverse championship order or reverse, like, I don't know, the top 8 or 10 or whatever, so that the back runners and like the middle runners have a chance of like being at the front, and then it kind of makes it more exciting for, like, say if the fast-paced people behind can get through the slower pace, not just by lapping them, by actually racing them. Because then it's less of a, I guess, it's less of a practice run for the main race, if that makes sense.
It'll be hella action from lap 1 to the end.
Exactly, like it's not. Oh, it's just tyre strategy for tomorrow. Like they know what's gonna work, what's not.
Lewis looks shattered.
Yeah.
I wonder if Max is annoyed about turn 1 with Lewis. Bright Types just brought up a very interesting point. Apparently, the USA grandstand attendance is 25% less this year. With a non-strong USA driver or team, that's going to be a factor. Not to mention, we're now post-pandemic. It's not the first race back after a couple of years of absence. And we've got max dominance, which is affecting social media. And I still maintain that pass with Max on Leclerc was wrong, by the way. I think we're at that point where Formula 1 is being hurt by dominance a little bit. I mean, minute dominance today, but across the year it's been dominance.
100%, I agree. Like we said earlier, it's almost like wherever he starts, it's like, oh, how long is it going to take him to get into P1? We've got into that sort of, we know he's going to win, it's just win.
It's a mindset now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I think, well, especially me today, like when I saw that it could have been maybe out of the question a win for him, I was like, oh. And then as soon as it was back in contention, I was like, oh. Not again.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Now, if this cameraman doesn't zoom in on one of these girls, I'm going to be surprised. They didn't that time. The cameramen today have been a little bit pervy.
What's the need for those cheerleaders?
Going back a long time, we used to have grid girls and all that sort of thing.
Don't get me started on that.
I'm going to say something, but I'm going to sort of counter my own point, so bear with me on this one. I liked having the grid girls on the track, but it shouldn't just be gender specific. If someone wants to be there, they can, boys or girls, I don't care. But I just thought it was a little bit of, it goes back a long way, there's a lot of history to it. However, objectifying women in that way and only having women there was wrong. So, I liked having someone there, I thought it was really good, but yeah. I can see why they got rid of it, even though I don't technically have to agree with it. So, you know.
Yeah. But it's. I agree with you in kind of.
You're more than welcome to.
But the fact that the tight fitting leather like suits, was there a need for it?
How they were portrayed, probably not.
Yeah, they could have just worked like. They could have had some race overalls on or something that makes it a little bit more motorsport specific. Or
yeah, they could have had less
the sponsors, like the sponsors on them. Or
less scantily clad.
Yeah.
No, I get you. I'll be happy with that. I mean, I've seen a lot of pictures of. I'm just going to say models as a broad term for both men and women. Of them being very happy and proud of the fact they were there, not because it was, they were, the promoters put them there. They wanted to be there. It's as simple as that. And
Mario said they were there with their own will and they got paid. But it's the bits that I don't get where there's girls that are. It still comes back to that thing is that. If you're a girl, you don't know much about F1, and it doesn't help where it's just girls on the grid holding a board who probably don't know about F1. They're just there holding a board or standing next to a car, and then again it comes back to that like backward thinking where they're like, well, that girl doesn't know anything about this, so all girls should know it, like about motorsport and F1 and the technicalities. So it stems back to that, and that's why I feel like it's not necessarily needed, and I still don't agree that the BTCC still do it, but at least some of them actually do know about the BTCC.
I get you.
So,
I think that's fair. I think that's a very fair point there, sir. Simple as that. I'm glad they have apart from the cameramen today, in the sport, they've generally moved on from that. Oh, I've got the FIA president here.
Getting booed to high hell. That's not needed.
Ooh. No, we had the same thing when both Vettel and Hamilton were winning race after race after race. It's just everyone voicing their opinion that there's dominance.
Good girls in the BTC are family members or part of the team present every weekend. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't mind them at the BTCC, because I know they've got connections with the team and stuff like that. I still don't agree with the tight fitting uniform, if that makes sense. Although I like with the BTCC, especially with Jade Edwards. I think last year she won like a competition where like you could be the grid person, and I think it was a guy that won it.
And he did it, did he?
Yeah, he did it.
Good.
So I think the BTCC is more
Politically correct.
yeah, politically correct, where F1 back in the day is just like, yeah, they're there for one reason and one reason only. It's like, so on social media it's still that debate and I hate it, that it's like, oh, because you're a girl, can you name all 20 drivers' names? Like, of course.
What you should do is just name all the drivers that have been in it this year, because it's more than 20, and just show them up.
No, there's still some backwards thinking people out there, but
I'd agree. Unfortunately, there's always going to be, and that's a whole different conversation. I am glad we're in a position in Formula 1 and motorsport in general where it has moved on a lot.
yeah, no, I'm glad as well.
50 career wins at the age of 26 in F1.
That is crazy.
Okay, so shall we move on to the breakdown and get this out of the way?
Yeah.
Let's do that. Okay, we've seen the podium celebration. Sorry, I pushed the wrong button.
Boy.
I always do that to you, don't I? I push the wrong button and then you're like, oh, I've lost the screen.
I lost it.
Sorry, my bad.
Take care, Mario. See you next week, 'cause we're on a triple header at the moment.
Ooh, which means we have Mexico next week.
Ready, it's scary that Max has already got this amount of wins, especially with the seasons being longer than what they have been. Yeah,
I do agree with that. Mexico, high downforce cars. Yes, although it's got one of the longest straights in F1, because of the altitude, they have to run the turbos at full pelt, which can mean turbo explosions next week. And they also get some of the highest speeds, despite running some of the biggest wings of the year. But that's Mexico for you. And I had heard several rumours, and bear in mind, I think they've been largely discredited, saying that Perez may be retiring next weekend, but bear in mind, largely discredited.
oh yeah, I think I saw those rumours as well.
Right, on that note, shall we get into the breakdown?
Yeah, I'm just adding it to my stream. Engines exploding, Ferrari and Alpine. We're looking at you.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Have you got your statistics ready, Sarah?
Me statistics.
Mm-hmm.
Just shared my whole Discord thing.
Oh, I
Didn't
did
mean to do
that. I did that earlier on, my mistake.
To just show you a little bit of the screen.
I'll show you our OBS feeds. It's no problem. Right. What do you want to cover? Do you want to cover the results? Could you cover the results and I'll cover qualifying?
I can do in just a sec. Oh, I'm moving myself. Give me a second.
Take your time. You have at least 12 seconds, okay?
Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
Bear with.
Bearing with.
Bearing with. Good, good. Right, so remove that off of my face. Where should we have it? We'll have it up here. And then I'll go over to the side. Right. Jesus Christ, that's small. let me just change that again. Bloody hell, how small is that?
Okay.
The window when I opened it, because all I can see is a grey screen at the moment. It was so small. Watch me. What it should to be. There we are. Perfect. Just a little bit of changing stuff around. You see, on the go.
Alrighty.
There we go. And then I'll move over to this side. Right.
We're nothing but professional here. I'm not eating on stream.
Yep. I eat on stream all the time. So.
But when I first started, I was like, I won't eat on stream. A year or two later,
same.
sod it.
Sod it. Yeah, like. Right, so Pedro has kindly sent me the results, so I'm ready to go when you are.
I wanted to say, Prototype said, strange race without a safety car. Yeah, actually. Fair point.
Yeah, and Sergeant actually finished a race.
I like this. That's what you focus on. Right. On that note, where do you want to start? Do you want to... should we do it in reverse finishing positions?
Can do if you want to.
Alright, who finished last? Or who DNF'd first?
It was Ocon.
Who started P8. He was only out after like 2-3 laps, wasn't he?
Yeah, unfortunately after that first lap collision with Piastri.
Straight into non-applicable.
Okay.
Yeah, let's move on. Okay, next one.
Piastri was the next one that was out.
Who, let's face it, had the same, but I'm willing to give him a grading, if I'm honest, because he had a cracking launch, and it was a good few laps later he actually dropped out, and that was mechanical.
Yep.
Can we grade him on his performance? What do you think?
He made up 4 places initially.
And he was running pretty damn well. Can we give them a ratings? I mean, our standard sort of thing is we got to wait until they've been in the race about 1/3 of the way through it. But he was
10 laps.
10 laps.
He was running for 10 laps.
I think it might be a bit unfair to grade him highly. Just the sheer fact he's not reached 1/3 way through. We haven't seen him any delta between him and Norris. I mean, he may have been much better on the tyres. He may have been much worse. So it's a bit unfair to grade him. We'll put him in NA then. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next one.
Yep.
Alonso.
He was out at about what lap? Apparently Prototype got an ad asking him to join the British Navy. Nice. Alonso out at lap 47. He was running about 8th, wasn't he? Starting from the pit lane.
He was, yep.
Grading? B? Or C+?
I was going to go C+, because we didn't really see much from him.
Saw a good couple of moves.
Yeah, but we can't expect that.
From both him and the car.
Yeah.
Okay.
The car hasn't been great all weekend.
I'm happy with C+. Next one.
Next one, Daniel Ricciardo.
Whom started P14 and where was it he ended up?
17.
So that was last on track then.
Technically, yeah, the last runner at
Honestly,
I think he's rushed coming back in.
I would agree with you.
And the strategy was quite weird, yeah.
But I'm still willing to give him a D rank, just the sheer fact that was not impressive. I know he's coming back after an injury, but I will... If you grade it against Lance Stroll, who broke both of his wrists and still raced in the first race, like after 2 or 3 weeks, he had a good
That's
performance
probably
there.
one of his best races of.
I know. That was weird,
this
though.
season.
I know. But Danny's had an operation. He's had his wrist fixed. He's come back too early. I think it's a D rank. It's just not impressive, and he's a long way behind Tsunoda. Thoughts?
Yeah, I'd agree. I think, unfortunately,
We are showing
he
his
has
De Vries there.
and he has actually finished a lap down.
Yeah.
as well.
Never mind. Moving on. Next one.
Kevin Magnussen,
Ooh, K-Mag.
who also finished a lap down
He started P17, so he's gone up 1 place.
with 3 DNFs, who are all above him.
I think
Would have been.
that's probably still a D grade, but ahead of Danny.
Yeah.
He's not really performing this year, K-Mag, is he?
No.
I'm a little bit surprised that on current performance, he did start from the pit lane, sure. But on current performance, I'm surprised that Haas have re-signed him. Still.
Yeah.
Next one.
But,
Or have you got another
Jack,
point? Or did you have another point about K-Mag?
I was just saying, I think maybe they're sticking with the experience, maybe. Less of, right, he's out. Get someone new in.
Yeah.
Maybe a rookie.
Yeah. I will always maintain, I think it's good having 2 experienced drivers, but sometimes you do need...
To give some old people the chance, yeah.
Yeah. I actually do like K-Mag, particularly as a person. I'm not sure I like him as a driver, and he's just a bit erratic. I mean, Hulk just seems like a good pair of hands at the moment. And K-Mag just seems like he's at the back. Never mind. Next one.
Joe Guanyu.
Started P12. Did he start from the pit lane? I don't think he did.
I don't believe so. Correct me if I'm wrong, Pedro. But he finished P15, a lap down.
P15. If Petra could give us a list of the drivers that started from the pit lane, that might be easier.
I believe it was Alonso Stroll.
I think I just heard my mother burp behind me.
I believe someone else.
It might have been a sneeze. I just heard something really
Magnussen,
weird.
Yeah. Both Haas and both AM, I think, yeah. That's what I was thinking in my head. I think it was both of them.
Okay,
Yeah.
that explains that at least. So he finished P15, Guang Yu.
Yep. A lap down.
Okay, so I'm going to say because he's ahead of K-Mag, at least a C minus. We're sort of going to move up a little bit. Okay.
Didn't see much really from him.
Yeah. So I don't remember seeing him in a race at all.
No.
Not once.
Talking about that, his the next one is his teammate Valtteri Bottas, who I don't think I even saw once.
I think I saw him getting lapped. That was about it.
He didn't finish. He finished on the lead lap.
Okay, move that up 1 to a C because he's at least not lapped. In an alpha, I think that's a cracking result. Thinking about it.
I mean, for a team with 3 DNFs that again would have finished in front of him, it's not amazing.
Okay, I'll revise my statement. I think it's a cracking result for the pace of that car.
Okay.
Because if you're not lapped by Max and Lewis, who have, just been going a ham for it literally in the last few laps, not to be lapped without a safety car. You see what I did there?
Yeah.
I did that on purpose as well. But, okay, I genuinely think that was good from Bottas despite being 14th in that car.
Okay. As Pedro just said as well, Alpha Strategy team did some questionable decisions today.
Yeah, a lot of them did.
Yes.
Next one.
Nico Hülkenberg.
Started from the pit lane, and what was that, 13th?
P13, yep.
I think that's another C.
With,
or C.
yeah.
C or C+. plus?
I was going to say, I was trying to... 3 people that would have finished in front of him, which meant he would have finished...
Well, who was out? Alonso was out.
Ocon
and Piastri, who would have definitely been ahead of him, let's face it.
Yeah.
So it would have been 16th.
16th or 15th, yeah.
Alright, another C.
Yeah.
Fair. Just going to call it equal
Yeah.
with Bottas. I think that's fair. Next one.
Logan Sargent. P12.
Ahead. Who
I think.
started P16, so... Okay, he's gained a place, effectively.
Yeah.
So I'm dicing with K-Mag. He overtook K-Mag, I think, eventually.
And Danny Rick.
Yeah, yes. He did. He cut back on him as well, I remember now.
Considering the season and the struggles that he's had, I think he's had a relatively good race.
I
What?
would agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm just
Not
debating.
amazing, obviously, but
Yeah,
considering his past performances, I don't think this one is too bad. Like, I think it's alright. It's pretty good.
because of the overtakes, I would be willing to give him a C+, and he's in a Williams.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I will allow it.
We'll allow it.
We'll allow it.
Yeah.
That's
Keep
fair.
it up, Logan. Maybe you'll be in there again.
More like that, and he might retain his F1 drive.
Yeah.
More like that. I mean, that's the minimum we should see from him. Right, next one.
His teammate, Alexander Albon.
Albon started one place ahead of him in P15. So what place are we up to now?
P11.
P11. So he's gained a place as well. I mean, both the
Did he get
Williams.
track limits, didn't he?
Yeah, 5 seconds. He didn't lose him a place,
Yeah.
though. He was about
No.
8 seconds ahead of Hulkenberg in the end. Or at least in the last 5 laps.
Yep.
So he nearly got passed by Sargent on track. Ooh, that would have been interesting. But I...
Finished 1.2 seconds behind. No, yeah, Sargent finished 1.2 seconds behind Albon.
So it's a much more
In the end of that
substantial...
penalty.
It's much more substantially impressive than Sargent.
Mm.
I mean, I think we should rate Sargent on what he's achieved, not what he achieves for him.
Yeah.
So,
It's all the same, Pedro. That the gap was after the penalty, so obviously he would have been 6 seconds in front. But by Logan's past performances, that's not bad being 6 seconds behind his teammate.
at this point, it must have about 70 Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Prototype says put Sarah Hawkey on that A graph.
Thanks.
I like it. I like it.
I don't know what I've done to deserve it, but I'll take it.
We'll allow it. Question is, where do we rate Albon?
Oh, box.
Box. Albon,
Pedro says maybe a C. Oh, thanks, Pedro. Appreciate it.
bunch of creeps. I like it. I think it's either a C or the bottom end of a C+. What do you think?
I reckon a C. With the penalty, I reckon a C.
Okay, I'll go with that. Where is he?
Oi. Pedro says, oi.
I'm not hearing a no. Okay, next one. For the points.
Yuki Tsunoda.
Got P10 in the end.
The fastest lap as well.
He started P11. So, okay, so...
With
Mhm.
3 people that would have been in front of him.
Yes. Although
He would have been out of the points.
Alonso would... He did start behind him.
He was in front of him. At one point, Alonso was running P8.
Hmm. My point being, Alonso would have had to overtake him. But out in front of him, we have lost Ocon and Piastri. So he would have he should have inherited P9 if he finished where he started.
Yes. 80s strategy team must have taken a day off as well.
I think a few of them
It
did.
would seem to, yeah.
I would like to give Sonoda a C grade.
Fastest lap.
On soft tyres at the end.
Did he go on soft tyres?
Well, he definitely wasn't on the hard.
Oh yeah, no, he was on the softs.
Yeah.
He was on mediums, hards, mediums, softs. For 2 laps.
Mediums,
he was
hards,
on the
mediums,
softs.
soft. So he did a
Yeah.
triple stop.
Yep.
Okay.
Basically. Why did he go on the front? Why? That's
Yeah.
pointless.
If he had a gap to someone in front, they would have been trying to steal the fastest lap point, which is fair enough, actually. Either that or his tyres were dead, which is entirely possible.
I'd probably still give him a C+.
You think C+? Talk me into it.
I don't know if I can because I've just seen the interval time, right?
Hit me.
And Yuki Tsunoda was 25 seconds behind Stroll.
Who started in the pit lane?
If he didn't have pit for those softs for 2 laps, he probably would have been around
Yeah,
Stroll.
but it would have been a question of if how dead were his tyres would he have got to the end.
Yeah, but he could have been defensive.
Hmm.
Could have kept defensive. He could have maybe just kept Stroll back. Obviously, yeah, because Yuki Tsunoda, he wasn't either. He did that really late move on Stroll as well.
He did, which will only make me mark him down. How about you?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if I can talk him into a C+, unfortunately. The only good thing is that he got points. Well, a point.
I'm. Do you know? I'm still thinking C. Just the sheer fact he's.
Yeah, I would.
I can give him a load of bonus points for fighting and being very good going for overtakes and all that sort of thing. But that's a big gap for Stroll, who started in the pit lane.
Yeah.
All right. So, what do you feel? Gut feeling, C or C+?
C.
Okay. Ahead of Albon?
Yeah.
Okay. Done. Next one.
Stroll. Who went up 11 places, so obviously.
State your grade on the count of 3. You ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. B.
C+.
Ooh.
Okay, no, I'll be convinced into a B. 11 places.
Done.
Although,
Although,
if the 3 people hadn't retired, then he would have finished out the points.
true. Well, who was ahead of him? Piastri. Alonso started. Well, it might have been only 2 because him and Alonso started together.
Alonso was in front of him though.
True. Very true. I mean, let's face it, he's always going to be.
I'd give him a B, just a low B though.
Yeah, it's a very solid race and what he should be doing, at least. I mean, that car is easily still top 5 teams, so he should at least be getting points, even if he's starting from the pit lane.
Yeah,
Cool.
no, I'd agree.
Sweet. Next one.
Gasly,
Whom started P7.
P9.
I got my
Yeah, P7. Sorry, P7.
And that was P9. No, where did he finish? Sorry.
P8.
P8.
Sorry, I got confused with the little graphic. Yeah, he started P7 and lost a place.
I'd just give him a C plus, to be brutally honest. But maybe like the bottom end of C plus.
Yeah, no, I think I'd agree.
Didn't see much of him.
No.
I mean, a couple of years ago, he was one of those drivers who completely reinvented himself, a bit like Albon after leaving the Red Bull family. So it's his first year with Alpine now, isn't it? But in AlphaTauri, he kind of revitalised himself. But I've not seen much from him this year to be particularly impressed by. Maybe it's just the car, but who knows. Next one.
George Russell.
Started P5, finished
P7. Obviously didn't have the pace this weekend.
What do you feel on the rank?
I'd go at C. I know it's probably harsh, but he's in the Mercedes.
I was feeling C or C minus. He just didn't feature.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to go with C, meet you in the middle on that one, because he hasn't done anything wrong, but he has not featured. I suppose he did have a good couple of moves early in the race, and a good battle with, I want to say it was with one of the Ferraris, or was, no, it was Ocon, I can't remember who it was with. Might have been Piastri. Alright, I'll be happy to give him a C. Around about the same as Sonoda and Albon.
Yeah, right, I would agree.
Okay, I'm done with that. Next one.
Leclerc.
He went on that really odd one-stop strategy and started on pole, didn't he?
Yep, went down 5 places.
I'd be willing to give him a B. Or a B. I mean, that Ferrari has been good all year on qualifying pace. However, long run, it's never.
Though. A B.
He's the only one to do a one-stop and actually finish.
No,
properly.
but it didn't work.
Oh, it didn't work. I'll be willing to go to C plus if you want that.
Finished 0.3 seconds behind him.
Oh.
So a few more, well, one more lap probably. Russell would have got past as well. So that would have been another position lost.
I'll be willing to go C plus because it's not a great showing from Ferrari.
Yeah, not from him. I'm not blaming him. It's Ferrari's
wrong strategy.
Wrong strategy, or Ferrari being Ferrari. But when you compare Sainz to him on just this alone, I don't think it's B worthy.
All right, I'll give you that. C plus then.
Cool.
King of the C pluses.
Why not?
Done. Next one, which I'm guessing is going to be Perez.
Yep.
So he started 9th.
So we're at 4 places.
How far behind was he Verstappen in the overall times in the end?
In the overall times, he was 18 seconds behind him.
It's less than a pit stop. He was in traffic pretty much a good chunk of the race, unlike Max, who only had traffic up till about halfway.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Not bad, but not great.
That's a very good way of not giving a grade.
I don't know. I think maybe a C plus. I don't know. To me, I don't know if it's B worthy in a Red Bull being P5.
I would argue, since you said exactly that phrase, C plus, because the other car won. He's not done anything wrong again.
No, but it's just no, I'd agree.
And Prototype wants to be put in the F grade. You can be put there if you want, mate.
No, you don't need to be in the F grade. You can be in the
F for Ferrari.
At the very, very top.
Right, next one, who has got to be Carlito Sainz, if I'm correct.
Yes, you are correct.
Started P4, finished P4.
Finished 5 seconds. 4.4 seconds to Norris.
So he didn't catch him in the end.
He didn't catch him in the end, no.
I think that is actually king of the C pluses then.
Yeah. Or do you want to give him a B for not actually losing a place? Because he was the only one that didn't lose a place.
Alright then, I will, yeah. That sounds more realistic. Okay. I mean, at the end of the day, I still think Leclerc was screwed over by the strategy, but at the end of the day, Sainz has achieved it, and he's made up an entire pit stop on his teammate. So, yeah, fair enough. Okay. Lando. P3. Started P2.
Overall, he finished 8 seconds behind Hamilton.
It's a weak final stint, though, wasn't it?
Wrong call, I think, for McLaren, but still a podium.
Right up until I think it was about halfway through the final stint, he was only 1.92 seconds, less than 2 seconds off Hamilton, but he just fell away in the final stint.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that, I'd be willing to give him almost an A, but he lost.
Top of B or an A for Pedro? I feel like top of B maybe.
Yeah, I'm personally very disappointed with his final stint.
Yeah, same.
So, I don't know if he was carrying a problem. Prototype said suspected rear suspension failure on Alonso. They did. Alonso did say that during the race. However, they also told him that it might be floor damage. So it could be either.
Yep.
With Norris, yeah, I think it is. What did we just say?
B.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going. Where do we put him? Ahead of Stroll. Ahead of Stroll. Yeah, he's got a podium.
Yeah, king of B's. Yeah.
He's got a podium. And he was fighting Max, fighting Lewis. It's impressive. In terms of his actual raw racecraft, very impressive. Speed, not so much, sadly.
Yeah. Or tire degradation was just too much, maybe. But
yeah, possibly.
The race that could have been.
You're correct. All right, Lewis Hamilton. Well, we know where he finished, P2.
Yep, finished 2.2 seconds behind Verstappen.
Yeah, he gave up in the last 2 corners.
I would go for an A.
Considering he started third.
That was a big charge at the end.
If it wasn't for Leclerc and Norris, I think we could have seen a Hamilton win.
Yep.
There's something about Verstappen and his dive bomb technique, cutting through the field. Apart from when he did it on Leclerc, which I'm going to maintain as not a good pass, I think Verstappen's dive bomb techniques and getting through the field won him the race today and cost Lewis.
No, I'd agree.
With Hamilton, you say A grade? I say A grade.
Yeah. I would have given him an A star if he won it.
Correct.
I
if
think
he'd have passed
Lando
Norris.
had some front left suspension damage, but we'll have to see. That was this was one of, if not the strongest performance of the season for Lewis. I would agree. Yes, it's good to see Mercedes that close to Red Bull. If that's maybe a one-off, I don't know, or if the upgrades are actually going to work. We'll see in Mexico.
Yep, and as we mentioned earlier, we were expecting upgrades for Mercedes today, and I genuinely think we're in the hands of Lewis. They think they were the fastest car on track today. I mean, he overturned a 10-second deficit to Max, as far as I'm concerned. Will it be Mexico next week? Oh, good Christ. Yellow card, Pedro. Yellow card on that one. Right, Max. Where did he finish?
Oh, let me guess. So, I don't know.
He won, I think, if we're not mistaken.
Really?
And where did he start? P6. I think there's a possibility here of an A star.
He was he wasn't nursing the car, but he was had a brake issue that he was having to deal with basically the whole race.
I will ask one question on that. Was it a problem of his creation by pushing the front brakes too hard, or was it a fault?
You won't know.
Do you think there's a possibility of an A star here, or do you think it's just a super strong A? Because I don't think he was the fastest driver on track today.
Yeah. I think I'd have to agree with Pedro. I'd say top of A. We've seen especially this season and probably previous seasons, we've seen A-star worthy drives from him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if today was because basically the people around him inherited, like, basically gave him the win. So I can't myself can't put it at an A-star. I'd put it as like above Hamilton for an A, or with Hamilton for an A. But I won't put him an A-star for that. But yeah,
I'd say he was the
other than
most
that,
measured driver and the best team today.
yeah,
It's questionable if we think that Lewis was disadvantaged by both a slow pit stop and semi-questionable pit strategy. I mean, Max is the only one out there who managed to go on the medium hard rather than double hard tyres. So, okay, yeah, I'm gonna say strong A because I don't think it is a sublime performance. It's just it's not an awesome performance, but it is just such a good performance. He's got the most out of the car without doing anything spectacular. Do you think that's fair?
yeah, I'd agree.
So I'm going to put him sort of equal, if not mildly ahead of Hamilton.
No, I'd
But
agree
Hamilton
with
was impressive as well today. So I think the pair of them, if we were to have a grade between A and B with a B plus or A minus or whatever, I think the gap would be clear between them and the other drivers at the moment.
that.
So I don't think we'd have anyone in that gap between, let's say, Norris and Hamilton, just the sheer fact. I think those two have done damn well today.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. Let's also rate the race out of 10.
The race out of 10. Oh.
It's a bit of a tricky one, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's one of those where strategy was absolutely key today, and it may not have been the greatest on-track action, although there was some further down. It was tense, and for good reason. It played out towards the final lap. Mercedes did play a very good strategy, if actually mildly overcautious, whereas Red Bull went for it and they got it right. So, have you got a number in mind?
I think I have.
You think you have?
Yeah.
I'm going to say, do you want me to go first or do you want to go first?
You go first.
7.5.
I was going 7, 6.5. Because of the disappointment of because it would have been higher in my opinion if, like I said, if they kept Max on his toes basically, but towards the end it was just like, nah.
Oh, he was definitely on his toes. But I get you.
You know what I meant? But, like,
I know.
if there was more of a threat to someone else winning,
Oh,
then
definitely.
I think it would have been higher. But
I'm right there with you. So you say, what was it, 6.5 or 7?
either.
Pick
I'm in
one.
the middle.
So you're saying 6.75 then?
Yeah, we'll average out our 2 answers. No, I'll go in the middle of everyone. Then I'll go for a 7.
Which we're gonna we'll say we'll average it out as roughly a 7 between us and Pedro there. So that's happy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm happy with that.
Average, but it was
It's still a max win.
yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. Some call us biased. Some call us fed up with domination.
Yeah.
I get
Not that
you.
we're biased, but I think we enjoy the what's the word? The
Competitive nature?
Yeah. Like, I'm not one for, I guess, when there's not a lot of racing action. Like, you qualify and that's where you're going to stay, like, for during the race. I like to see, like, people swapping and changing positions and, like, fighting for the win.
Whereas I'm more into the strategic side of looking at the timings and whatnot. I get you.
Mm.
I get you. I'm happy with that. Absolutely fair. Okay, so out of the year, though, I'd say that is probably definitely one of the better Grand Prix.
Oh,
I mean,
100%.
Qatar was actually pretty good, if very talkative about the end of it, of course. Singapore, which is strange, but that feels like the highlight of the year so far for me.
Yep.
But next week, Mexico.
Mexico.
Let's look forward to that, I guess. So, for those that are going to be taking part in the pre-GP, we'll be running that on Sunday again. Just a sheer fact. Saturday is just going to be too difficult to do.
Mm-hmm.
With that in mind, let's look forward to that, shall we?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Triple header.
Yes. So, shall we, in fact, send a raid to someone?
Yeah, can do.
Do we dare raid Koulios again? What do you think?
Good. It's up to you.
Well, I feel
I'm
like
sure
that.
he'd appreciate it.
Exactly. Yeah, let's do that. Give him some love. And we're going to call that a night for the podcast. So thank you very much, Sarah.
Yeah, thank you very much again. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We always seem to get struck by them some way or another.
We do.
So thank you for staying with us and bearing with us. And we shall see you next week.
We will be back. Right.
Yeah.
Starting the raid now. So for those on Twitch, we're going across to see Koulios. For anyone who's been on YouTube, feel free to give us a like and a subscribe there. Otherwise, we'll be back. Thank you very much, Sarah. Thank you for the chat. And everyone else.
Thank you to everyone. And see you soon.
Laters.